What the hell is going on with Overwatch ranks? This season has been a bit of a shit show, I guess, to say the least, and one of the things that people have been talking about the most has been the ranking system. We're not just talking about placement matches and the implications and carryover from Season 2, but people just all over the place. You were seeing lots of people who last season might have been Platinum dropping down to Silver or Bronze, and then there's been a ton of people who were in Platinum and Diamond being Masters and Grandmasters this year. In fact, just the other day, we saw the first legitimate player to hit the max SR of 5,000. I do recall last season there was a bit of a news story going around about someone else hitting it, but it was because they tanked their rank all the way down to below 0, but there was no recognition of a negative SR, so they just they reset the counter back to the top or something. It was something nuts. But anyways, it is my understanding that the Evermore is the first player to legitimately hit the maximum rank of 5K. Now, why didn't this happen in Season 2? There was a ton of people who were really good in Season 2, a ton of people who got over 4,500 and maybe close to 5,000. But why didn't anyone hit it? Well, because how Blizzard set up the system and how it was in Season 2 was a little bit different. It was more central focused, and then as people spread out away from the center point of the ranks, it became harder and harder to get a higher rating. In fact, a lot of people in Grandmasters, and they would get wins, but they would only gain like 2 to 5 SR, so it'd be very hard to climb to a very high rating. But this season is very different. Blizzard has acknowledged already that their distribution was way too middle heavy. Specifically, there were far too many players in Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. And they have decided for Season 2 to flatten that out. They still want a bell curve, and they still want people to be centered around Gold, Platinum, and Diamond, but they want to flatten it out a bit more because there was hardly anybody in Bronze and Silver, and there was also hardly anybody in Master and Grandmaster. So to flatten that out, that means they need to push more people into those ratings, and that is exactly why you're seeing many Diamond and Master players getting Grandmaster this season. It's also why on the lower end, unfortunately, for a lot of people who are playing in Silver and Gold, they're getting pushed down to Bronze. And it's this almost this weird effect where the rich are getting richer. People who are already pretty high up, Diamond players, are just getting higher ranks, and they're puffing their chest a bit more, beating on it, declaring their prowess over everyone beneath them. And then the poor people down who are playing in Silver and Gold, they're getting just boot stomped down to Bronze. It's a pretty shitty system, but hopefully this is the only season that's going to be an issue. Hopefully they've addressed the concerns and the problems that they had in Season 2 with way too many people being clumped together in the middle, and as a result that not being the best matchmaking system. As it's been discussed in the past before, there were people of wide skill ranges all playing in the same games together, which again can make for unfun matches. So Blizzard is saying no more. And we're having right now, I think what we're mostly experiencing are growing pains of this process, of people being pushed down lower and of other people being raised up even higher. It's gonna be a tough season. It's gonna be a tough pill to swallow, especially for people who are going lower in ranks than what they thought they were, than what they placed in and were playing in last season. But ideally, it makes for a better experience, a more fun experience across the board. Something my fellow YouTuber, Tom Stylosa from Unit Loss Gaming, talks about quite often is the game being fun. And it's something that I think we need to remind ourselves of, those of us who are really into competitive. I feel like sometimes when I play my competitive games, not a lot of people are having fun in those matches. And I'm like, hey, it's a video game. But you say that and they want to bring you out to the guillotine. The fact of the matter is, Tom's right. He's on to something. We need to be having fun. And fun games come from even and fair balance games, as we talked about in the last video discussing the season skill rating and placement matches and all that stuff. And you're going to get those better matches, and as a result, those more fun matches more often if the matchmaking system is better and if the skill rating distribution is better. So while it might suck for some people right now, I think we all need to realize that ultimately this is going to make for a better system and a better gameplay experience as a result. So that's what's going on right now with the skill rating system. Now, I'd love to know how your experience has been so far if you've been playing in competitive Season 3. How did your placement games go? Where were you placed compared to last season, and how have your games since then been? I mean, sure, maybe you got placed lower than you did last season, but have you felt that your games were better as a result? Are they more evenly balanced? Are you having more fun despite your possibly lower rating? People who were Diamond last season but are Masters and Grandmasters now, how do you feel? Have you been outgunned? Are you playing against people who are way above your skill level? And if so, that means the system still isn't working ideally. Obviously, anything we're taking here will be still anecdotal evidence, but I'd love to know how your experience has been, how your games have been, and how you're feeling so far in competitive Season 3. Just keep in the back of your mind, Blizzard is purposefully shifting people out of what they were before because too many people were focused on the middle. Were they being pushed down or raised up? It's not necessarily because your skill level has changed drastically from last season, but because Blizzard is trying to spread everyone out. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for me here today. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good afternoon, and until next time, I'll see you later.